Everyone's talking about AI browsers. I made a recent video about the new ChatGPT Atlas and it went viral. Everyone seems to love it, aside from one major flaw. These AI browsers are useful, but they're a privacy nightmare. Most people have no idea how much data they're actually giving up just by using them. Everything you search, every prompt you type, and even how you interact with the AI, it's all being tracked. And to be honest, the more I looked into it, the worse it got. So I started doing some digging to see if anyone is building an AI browser that gives you a similar experience, but without the spying, without the tracking, and without selling your data. I found this cybersecurity company that literally just made their very own AI browser. And in this video, I'm going to show you what it's all about, since privacy is a big concern for you guys. And I've been listening to feedback. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, so let's quickly talk about what an AI browser is if you don't know what it is. So I'm going to touch on this real quickly. We have two main AI browsers here. We have ChatGPT Atlas, which is OpenAI's new browser they launched, and we have Perplexity Comet. And let me basically break down what these are and how they function. We're going to focus on ChatGPT Atlas, and Comet functions very similarly. So when I refer to ChatGPT Atlas, just know that this kind of is the same for other browsers as well. So ChatGPT Atlas is an AI-powered browser by OpenAI that integrates ChatGPT directly into your browsing experience. So if you come over here, this is what the interface looks like. You can see that I type in what is the capital of Colorado, and it basically just has ChatGPT right in your search bar. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Right here, I have my tab pulled up. This is a separate browser, and I could basically ask a question, and if I click search, it will go ahead and it's going to pull up an answer as if I'm talking with ChatGPT. You could also see all the different web links and articles here. I could even show all the videos. So this is what it looks like. That is a quick example of what the interface looks like. This blends search and action. So you can ask a question, it will browse pages, summarize content, and generate the text all in that one window for you. And another thing I want to mention is basically it has access to all of the browser tabs that you have open. For example, right here, I'm watching this YouTube video of myself actually, and you can see this chat window on the right hand side, and I basically said summarize this video, and since it has context on what I'm viewing, it's able to summarize that information for me, which is extremely helpful. And then there is something called agent mode, which can control your browser for you. You can see this little blue user interface here. You could just describe what you want it to do, like I want you to go book a flight for me, and it will actually point and click on your browser and perform tasks. So those are the pros of using an AI browser. Now we need to talk about the cons, because if you are worried about privacy, this could be a potential nightmare for you. So the first one is deep browsing visibility. So Atlas can see and record the pages that you visit, how long you stay, and what you read and interact with. It's basically seeing everything that you see on your browser. Next, there are some potential security vulnerabilities. So experts warn of potential flaws that could let malicious actors exploit ChatGPT's memory. So next up, we have security vulnerabilities. Experts warn of the flaws that could let malicious actors exploit Atlas's memory or agent features to access private data or perform unintended actions. If you're worried about everything that you're browsing and wondering if somebody else could see it on the back end, somebody can do that by hacking into ChatGPT's system. So next we have the AI agent mode, which is pretty fun and useful for some specific tasks. Basically gives the browser permission to navigate the website, fill out forms, and act on your behalf. And that definitely increases the risk of unintended access for different websites you don't want to give the AI access to. So now we know what an AI browser is. Let's quickly talk about an alternative if you are worried about privacy and keeping the data to yourself. All right, guys, so the browser we're going to be using in this video is called Norton Neo. Norton is a cybersecurity company, and this is the browser that they came up with. So let's quickly talk about the features, and then I'm going to showcase it firsthand so you can see exactly what it does. So here's a quick glimpse of what our interface looks like. It says your first safe AI native browser. And there's a couple different features here that it's actually going ahead and showcasing. There's a magic box. We have tabless browsing. We have a peek feature, which I'm going to show and is actually really useful. We have ad blocker directly inside of our browser. So that way we don't need to see ads as if we would see if we were on Google Chrome, for example. And we have a typing assistant. And let me quickly show you this platform in action. All right, guys. So now we have Neo browser in action. So this is what our interface looks like. You can see that we have this chat interface here, and we could go ahead, search anything, ask anything, and I'm going to show you that now. So I could just type in, for example, what is the capital of Colorado? It's going to begin loading, and just like ChatGPT, it'll give us a response instead of actually showing us a bunch of different links. So that is kind of how our search capability actually works. And then next thing I want to talk about is if we go to YouTube, for example, it will pull up YouTube just like any other browser would, and it automatically categorizes are tabs that we have open. So you could see that I have this entertainment tab with two different YouTube YouTube tabs. And then I have productivity because I have ChatGPT pulled up over here, which is, logged into my ChatGPT account. And let me just go ahead and search for something else. Let me just say Tesla stock because the market's tanking today. And you can see this now comes up in the search tab that I actually automatically categorized using AI. All right, so now I want to talk about this feature called peek or summarize. Let's say that we're browsing on, the internet right here. We see these different articles and we don't want to actually look at the whole entire article. Maybe we just want it to be summarized. So what we could do is we could hover over this link and you could see this little Neo button come up. In this, we could either look and see what it looks like. So it will show us a little snippet of what our website here looks like. And then we could expand it fully if we wanted to. Or what we could do is we could just click on this button and click on this little paragraph thing. It will automatically summarize this website for us without us even having to go on there. And then what we could do is you can see we have this Neo chat thing on the right-hand side, which is very similar to Perplexity or ChatGPT Atlas, and we could go ahead and just interact with it like this. So this is a quick example of how easy it is to use AI directly inside of your browser, and it has context to anything that's on your screen, any of the tabs you have open, so we could then ask questions. And one thing that I've actually liked is they have this little snippet button here, so I could go ahead, I could click on summarize this, I could click on this preset one that says explain it like I'm 5 because maybe this is a little complicated, and here we go. It's just basically explaining it very simply so anybody can understand it. This is all customizable and we can interact with this however we would like. And guys, one of my favorite things about this is just how clean this looks. Look at how good the auto organization of these tabs are with AI. Like again, if I'm not using it, I could just click on it and collapse all of these. If I want to go to my productivity tab, I just click on it and you can see ChatGPT's in there. And I don't have to configure this at all. I don't need to like pin these or do any of that stuff that's unnecessary. It just automatically does it for me. All right, so to explain the privacy policy behind Neo, I'm going to come directly to their FAQ section. Let's quickly look at some of these. So does Neo show ads? Neo blocks intrusive ads in trackers by default. You browse in a clean, distraction-free environment. We do not inject or sell your browsing data. So that is a huge one, guys. That is something where ChatGPT, Atlas, Perplexity, Comet, they can't make those promises. So we won't see ads when we're using Neo Norton, which I have not seen when I'm using it. And it's honestly just the best experience, not having all these distractions on your screen. Next, let's go to the question of, does Neo collect my data? All right, so for this one, it does collect minimal data necessary to improve performance and user experience. However, they do not sell or share our data with third parties. Any personalized features require your explicit consent. So that's an interesting one. It still does collect a little bit of data, but it's not sharing it with outside sources. And again, is my browsing activity tracked for ads purposes? It does not track for ad purposes. Another big one that ChatGPT Atlas and some of these other alternatives do is it does not use your data to train other AI models. No, Neo does not use your private data or browsing activity to train any third-party AI models, which is a big thing that a lot of people want in an AI browser. They want to be able to browse without thinking, is this thing being trained on me and training other AI models on all the things that I'm looking at? All right, guys, there you have it. This is the Neo browser. So if you want to use an AI browser, but you really want to prioritize privacy, this is a great option for you. I do want to say it doesn't have all the features that ChatGPT Atlas or Perplexity Comet has. For example, you can't use the agent mode right now inside of Neo. However, I will say the agent mode right now inside of those platforms is a bit novel and it's definitely not necessary. So if you want to take a lot of the different features you get from those alternatives, but you want to do it in a private way, this is a great alternative for you. So there's going to be a link in the description to sign up for the waitlist so you can start using Neo Norton. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for staying to end this video. Let me know if this helped you out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.